Hey friends, thanks for coming back and joining me for another edition of Junie B. Jones. Today we're going to see what happens when Junie B has her school carnival and what happens with all the activities that she does. So we are going to start this one. Junie B. Jones and the Yucky, Blucky Fruitcake by Barbara Park. I think she's a fabulous author. Do you even know what a fruitcake is? Have you ever had one? You're going to find out. All right, here we go. Chapter 1, the Bestest game winner. My name's Junie B. Jones. The B stands for Beatrice, except I don't like Beatrice. I just like B, and that's all. I am in the grade of kindergarten. It is the afternoon kind. Afternoon kindergarten is better than morning kindergarten. That's because you get to sleep late and watch cartoons. Only guess what? Today, my baby brother named Ollie waked me up very too early. He was screaming for his bottle, but screaming is not polite, and so he needed some discipline, I think. I sat up in my bed. Hey, shut up your face, I hollered. Shouldn't say that. Mother opened my door speedy quick. Her eyes were angry at me. Junie B. Jones, what do you think you're doing? She growled. I hid from her under my sheet. I think I'm doing discipline, I said. Please, Junie B, not today. Daddy and I need you to be on your best behavior. We both have to go to work early, and Grandpa Miller is coming to babysit. Just then I heard my front door open. Grandpa, it's my Grandpa Frank Miller. I jumped out of bed and ran to meet him. Only too bad for Grandpa, because he didn't see me coming around the corner, and I accidentally butted him in the stomach with my head. Grandpa Miller yelled out the word of oof. Then he bended way over in half, and me and Mother and Daddy had to help him walk to the couch. Daddy did a frown at me. How many times have we told you not to run in the house, he said. I counted it on my fingers. A million, thrillion, skabillion, I think. Only I'm just guessing. After that, Mother made me sit on her lap, and she told Grandpa Frank Miller the babysitter instructions for me. The babysitter instructions is all the stuff I'm not allowed to do. Like no climbing on top of the refrigerator, and no putting lipstick on my dog named Tickle, and no making Ollie lick a potato. Except for he didn't actually mind it that much. After the babysitter instructions, Mother and Daddy kissed me goodbye. Then they went to work. I jumped way high in the air. Oh boy, now they're gone. And now you and I can have fun, right, Grandpa, right? I zoomed into the kitchen and I climbed on top of the refrigerator. Hey, Grandpa, come look where I am. Grandpa Miller came in the kitchen. Look how high I am up here. Now I can be the king. What did her parents just say? She's not supposed to be on top of the refrigerator, right? It's not a good thing to be. It's not safe. And this can be my throne, and you're my servant named Pinky, and you have to fetch me stuff, and also I get to hit you on the head with my sword. Grandpa Miller lifted me off the refrigerator. He put me back on the floor. Yeah, only I didn't give you permission to do that, Pinky. Sorry, little girl, but you heard the rules. And anyhow, I have to finish giving Ollie his breakfast bottle. He went back into the living room. Hey, Grandpa, you just gave me a very great idea, because I think I'll eat my breakfast too, only I can fix mine all by myself. I hurried up and got out the ingredients. Ingredients is the stuff you mix together, like the bowl and the spoon and the cereal and the milk. Except for the milk carton was way too heavy for me, and so I just got the orange juice instead. I put my bowl of cereal on the floor. Then I poured orange juice to the tippy top of it. I took a giant bite. Yum, I said. This is the most delicious breakfast I ever ate. Except for it doesn't actually taste that good. Just then, Grandpa Miller came in the kitchen. He said no eating on the floor. Yeah, but I don't like to sit in my big kitchen chair because I'm not tall enough to reach the table, and so Mother makes me sit on a telephone book. Only that thing hurts my behindy. My grandpa looked at my bowl. What in the world are you eating? I'm eating cereal and orange juice, I told him. It is very delicious, except for it's gonna make me puke, I think. Then Grandpa Frank Miller opened the refrigerator so he could find me a better kind of breakfast. How about some fruit, he said. Yes, I shouted, fruit, yay for fruit, because fruit is the bestest thing I love. I folded my hands very polite. I would like some bananas and some peaches and some strawberries, please. And so Grandpa sliced all those fruits in a bowl and he let me eat them in the living room in front of the TV. And I'm not even allowed to do that, only we're not going to tell Mother. And here's another fun thing. After breakfast, baby Ollie took his nap and me and Grandpa played Old Maid and I win him 5 whole times in a row. That's because I kept on putting the Old Maid way higher than the rest of my cards, and he kept picking it. Grandpa Frank Miller is a sucker, I think. Me and him played lots more games too. Their names are Who Can Skip the Fastest and Who Can Hop on One Foot the Longest, and also the game of Tic-Tac-Toad. And guess what? I win all of those games too. I'm the bestest game winner in the whole world, I said. Then I ran to my room to get ready for kindergarten. First, I put on my favorite pants with the polka dotties on them. Then I found my favorite sweater with the cow on front. It was in the dirty clothes hamper, only it didn't even stink that much. Sorry about that, friends. You've probably heard my doorbell. There's people out there working and they're finally gonna put some grass outside of our house. So I'm super excited. So thank you for being patient. All right, let's keep going. After that, I combed my hair with my fingers and I brushed my teeth, except for not the wiggly one. Grandpa made me a sandwich for lunch. Its name was Jack Cheese. I ate it all up. Then I gave him a big kiss and I skipped to school. I skipped to my school bus very happy. I'm the bestest winner. I'm the bestest winner, I sang real loud, because winning is the funnest thing that I love. Chapter 2, Hopping and Racing and Tic-Tac-Toad. I ride the school bus with my bestest friend named, yep, her name's Grace. She has curly black hair. That is my favorite kind of head. Also, she has pink high tops with big feet in them. That Grace is a lucky duck, I think. Hey, Grace, guess what? Me and my grandpa, Frank Miller, played games today, and I win him at Old Maid and at hopping and skipping and Tic-Tac-Toad. And so I'm the bestest game winner in the whole world. That Grace smiled. Me too, she said. I'm a good game winner too. I patted her very nice. Yeah, only you can't be as good as me, Grace, because I said it first, that's why. That Grace did a mad face at me. Then she called me the name of Beanie Head. I patted her again. You don't take criticism that well, do you, Grace? Just then, she got out a pencil and paper from her backpack. She drew a tic-tac-toad. Now we'll see who the bestest winner really is, she said. I got X's, I hollered. I got O's, she hollered. I go first, I hollered. I go second, she hollered. Then me and her played tic-tac-toad. Tic-tac-toad, 3 in a row, I yelled very fast. See, Grace, see, I told you I'm the bestest winner. That Grace looked at the paper. But your X's aren't in a row, Junie B. I did a huffy breath at her. I know they are not in a row, Grace. That is why I made a curvy line to connect them. That Grace jumped up. Cheater, cheater, that's cheating. The X's have to be in a straight row. Then she passed out our tic-tac-toad all around the bus, and all the other kids called me a cheater too. Plus a mean boy named Jim. We all know Jim. Jim called me the name of Nutball. I don't like that guy. After that, I scooted way over next to the window all by myself. Oh, I should have taken O's, I whispered, very disappointed. Pretty soon the bus pulled into my school parking lot. I hurried off that thing speedy quick. Hey, Junie B, wait up, yelled that Grace. You and me can skip to the swing set together. Want to? And so all of a sudden I felt happy inside again, because skipping is my bestest game. I could cream her at that one, I think. Hey, Grace, you and me can have a skipping race. The first one to the swings is the winner. I took a big breath. Ready, set, go, I shouted. Except for that Grace wasn't actually off the bus yet. Only, that's not my problem. I skipped as fast as a speeding rocket. I'm winning, I shouted, very thrilled. But just then, that Grace skipped right past me. Hi, Junie B. Bye, Junie B, she said. Then she touched the swing set before I did. I won, she yelled. I beat you at skipping. I told you I was a good game winner. I stamped my foot at her. No, you are not a good game winner, Grace, because your feet are way gianter than mine. And also you have pink high tops, so that race was not fair and square. That Grace stuck her tongue out at me. That is not attractive of you, madam, I said. Then I turned around and saw my other bestest friend named, what's her name, guys? Lucille. I read to her speedy quick. Hey, Lucille, it's me. It's your bestest friend, Junie B. Jones. Let's not play with that Grace, okay? Let's just play by ourselves because you and me can have a hopping contest and we can see who's the bestest hopper. Lucille fluffed her lacy dress. Okay, but I'm not allowed to get sweaty. And also I must be careful of my fingernails. She showed them to me. See, the manicure lady painted them apricot ice. See how beauteous they are? Yeah, whatever, I said, not looking. I took a giant breath. Ready, set, go, I shouted. Then me and Lucille started hopping on one foot. We hopped and hopped and hopped. Only it wasn't as fun as hopping with Grandpa Miller. On account of Lucille didn't get tired and fall over. Look, Junie B, she said very squealy. Look how bouncy I am. This is fun, isn't it? I wiped my sweating head. Yeah, only it would be funner if you fell over now, Lucille, because I just had a skipping contest with that Grace and I'm a little pooped here. Look, Junie B, she said again. Look how fluffy my skirt bounces over my head when I jump way high. My face felt hottish and reddish. I can see your underpants, Lucille. Only that dumb Lucille didn't even care if I could see her underpants. She just kept on hopping and hopping. Finally, I got tired and fell over. Yay, yay, shouted Lucille. I'm the winner of hopping. Just then the school bell rang and everybody ran to room 9, except for not me. I walked very slow, all by myself. Mrs. was standing outside room 9. Mrs. is the name of my teacher. She has another name too, but I just like Mrs., and that's all. She smiled at me. Why so glum today, Junie B? 'Cause people keep on beating me at all my games, that's why. And so now I'm not even the bestest winner anymore. Then I went to my seat and I put my head down on my table. On account of glum is when the happy is gone right out of you. Chapter 3, all about carnivals. Mrs. took attendance. Attendance is when you say the word here, only I didn't feel like saying it, so I just raised my head very flimsy. Are you feeling all right, Junie B? Mrs. asked. She's okay, said Lucille. She's just mad because I beat her at hopping. Yeah, only I already explained that to you, madam, I shouted at Lucille's face. Mrs. clapped her loud hands at me. Junie B. Jones, that will be enough of that, she said. I put my head on my table again. This day is a bummer, I whispered just to myself. Mrs. stood up at her desk. Boys and girls, may I have your attention, please? I would like to talk to you about a special night coming up at school on Friday. It's called Carnival Night. Does anybody know what a carnival is? I do, said that Jim that I don't like. A carnival is like what they have at state fairs every year. There's lots of rides there, like the Ferris wheel and the tilt-a-whirl and bumper cars. Yeah, and there's a shooting gallery with fake ducks, said Jamal Hall. And there's cotton candy that rots your teeth by eating black holes into your protective tooth enamel, said a boy that I love named Ricardo. Ricardo's mother's a dentist, I think. After that, a crybaby boy named William stood up very shy. And he said one time he rode the scary roller coaster and he didn't even cry that much, except for he accidentally threw up his chili dog. Then Polly Allen Puffer told us about the carnival that he threw up too, like a candy apple and caramel popcorn and a rubber band, except for that is not food, that is office supplies. I raised my hand. Carnivals are rip-offs, because one time my daddy kept on trying to knock over 3 bottles with the ball, but even when we hit them, they wouldn't fall down, and so he and mother had to call the cops, and also eyewitness news at 6 and 10. Mrs. laughed out loud. Yeah, only that is not a laughing matter, I said. Mrs. stopped smiling. Oh, no, of course it's not. But I promise that is nothing. But I promise that nothing like that will happen at our school carnival night, Junie B. All of the games are going to be run by the parents and teachers, and there will be hundreds of prizes to win. I sat up a little bit straighter. Hundreds, I said. Hundreds, she said. Yeah, only I don't even know how to win them. And so Mrs. got out a piece of paper that told all about the carnival games. Well, let's see, she said. It says there will be a fishing booth, a penny toss, a moonwalk tent, a putting green, clothespins in the bottle, a basketball shoot, a ring toss, and a booth where you can throw wet sponges at our principal's face. Just then, room 9 started laughing very much, because throwing sponges at principal is a dream come true, that's why. Mrs. kept on reading. It also says that Mrs. Hall, the art teacher, will be painting faces in the art room. In our very own room 9, there's going to be a cakewalk. I jumped right out of my chair. Hey, guess what? Walking on cake is the funnest thing I love. Because one time at a picnic, I stepped my grandma's Little Debbie snack with bare feet, and the creamy filling was very squishing beneath my toes. Goonie, shouted that Jim. You Goonie Bird Jones, you don't walk on a cake. A cakewalk is a game where you win a cake, right, teacher, right? Mrs. made squinty eyes at him. Yes, Jim, but we do not call people Goonie Birds. Calling people names is rude. Plus, if I want you to make a comment, I would appreciate it if you would politely raise your hand. Like me, missus, right, right, I hollered out, because I raised my hand very polite when I told you that carnivals were a ripoff, remember? Then a lot of other kids shouted that they were very polite too. And so I had to stand up on my chair so Mrs. could hear me. Yeah, only they can't be as polite as me, right, missus? Because I said it first, right, right? Then Mrs. rubbed her head for a very long time. And also, she took some aspirin. You can't stand on your chair and yell at the teacher. That's just not what you're supposed to do. Chapter 4, very practicing. After school, I run all the way home from my bus stop. That's because Grandma Miller babysits me in the afternoon, and I wanted to tell her about Carnival night. Hey, Grandma Miller, it's me. It's Junie B. Jones, your granddaughter. I've got some important news for you. There's going to be a carnival at my school, and I can win 100 prizes at that thing. Grandma Miller hurried out of Baby Ollie's room. She looked grumpy at me. Shh, Junie B., not so loud. I just put the baby down for his nap. My shoulders got very slumping. Yeah, only I'm excited down here, Helen, I said. Then Grandma smiled at me, and she hugged me hello, and then she said not to call her Helen. Yeah, only I didn't even tell you the bestest part yet, I said, because Mrs. read me the kind of games they're going to play, and so now I can practice them at home, and I will be the bestest game winner of anyone. I hurried to the laundry room to get the clothespins. They're gonna have a game where you drop clothespins in a bottle, I hollered to Grandma, except for I can't find a bottle in this whole big laundry room, so I'm just gonna drop these clothespins in a bucket, because that'll give me the feel for it, I think. I got the bucket away from the mop, and then I dropped all my clothespins right in that thing. Hey, Grandma, I did it. I dropped every single clothespin in this big bucket, and I didn't miss even one of them. I'm a breeze at this game. I ran back to her. Now I need some pennies to practice the penny toss, I said. And so Grandma Miller gave me all her pennies, and I ran back and threw those guys in the bucket too. And here's another fun thing. When Mother came home from work, she showed me how to putt with a real, actual golf club. Only no golf balls in the house, so I just putted a grapefruit and also a dinner roll. And guess what? That night at dinner, I didn't even growl about sitting on the telephone book because everything was going my way, that's why. I don't know if she's practicing those games correctly. What do you guys think? After we ate, Mother and Daddy cleaned up the dishes together. They weren't even paying attention to me. That's how come I sneaked into the bathroom to practice another game. Its name is Throwing Sponges at Principal. First, I got a sponge from under the sink. Then I made it soaky wet with water. Ready, aim, fire, I said. Then I threw the sponge with all my might. It splashed right in the middle of the toilet pot. Bullseye, bullseye, I made a bullseye, I hollered real excited. Only just then, I heard a knock at the door. Junie B., what are you doing in there? Open the door. Oh no, it was Mother. I was in big trouble, I think. My heart got very pumping on account of I'm not actually allowed to play in the toilet. So I quick flushed the sponge down the pot. Only too bad for me, because that dumb thing got sucked in the hole. And the water kept on getting higher and higher and higher. And then it run right out over the top. Mother banged harder. I said open that door. I did a gulp. Yeah, only it's a little bit splashy in here right now. Mother unlocked the door with the key. I smiled, very pleasant. Hello. How are you today? I said. Mother hollered the name of Robert. Robert is my daddy, except for sometimes he's Bob. He came running in there. Well, good night, folks, I said. Then I tried to sneak out of there, but Mother held on to my shirt. And so even when I kept on walking, I kept on staying. She made me help her and Daddy dry up all the water with towels. After that, I had to take a bath. Only I don't know why, because I was already wet from the toilet. After my bath, Mother tucked me into bed. Me and her had a little talk. Look, Junie B, I know you're excited about the carnival, and we also know you're having fun practicing the games, but you're worrying too much about winning. Nobody can win all the time. Right, she said. Right, I said. And besides, the fun of a school carnival is whether you win or lose. The fun of a school carnival is just playing the games in the first place. Right, she said. Right, I said. So we'll go to carnival night on Friday and we'll have a great time. And we won't worry if we don't win any prizes at all. Right, she said. Right, I said. Mother kissed me goodnight. See you in the morning, she said. Right, I said. After she closed my door, I waited for her feet to walk away. Then I quick took out my flashlight from under my pillow. I shined it all around my room. First, I shined it on my dresser. Then I shined it on my toy box. Then I shined it on my brand new bookshelf Daddy made me. I smiled and smiled. That's where I'm going to put them, I said to myself. That is where I'm going to put my 100 prizes. She wasn't listening to Mother, was she? Chapter 5, Stupid Dumb Carnival Games. Here we go. Carnival night was Friday after dinner. Daddy drove me and Mother there in the car, only not baby Ollie, because he was a fuss budget, that's why. I unbuckled my seatbelt and looked out the window. Hey, I said, look at all the lights on the playground. It looks like a real alive carnival out there. I looked harder, and guess what else? There are clowns at this place. Only don't let them get near me, okay? Because clowns are not normal. Hey, there's my bestest friend named Lucille, I yelled. I hurried up out of the car. Lucille, look, it's me. It's Junie B. Jones. I am here for carnival night. Me and Lucille runned at each other. She had red hearts painted on her face. Look at me, Junie B. Look how beauteous I am. I just got my face painted by Mrs. Hall, the art teacher. She puckered her lips at me. I can see my lips. My Nana put red lipstick on them so they would match my hearts. Lucille's lips were shiny and slickish. I tried to touch the bottom one, but Lucille said, don't smudge me. Just then, Mother and Daddy caught up with me. Daddy had bought tickets for all the carnival games. Ready to get started, he asked. Yes, because I've been waiting for this exciting evening my whole entire career. I runned and ran until I found my most favorite game. Its name was putting the golf ball. There was a long green carpet there. The carpet had a little hole with a flagpole in it, and also there was a man holding golf clubs. I ran right up to him. Guess what? I'm going to win a prize at this thing because I've been practicing my putting very hard. Good for you, said the man. Then he gave me a golf club and he put a teeny white ball in front of me. It was the teeniest ball I ever saw. I looked at it for a real long time. Then I tapped on him. Excuse me, I mostly just putt grapefruit, I explained. The man did a frown. Hurry up, okay? There's a lot of other children waiting. Yeah, only I could also use a dinner roll. Please, he grouched, just hit the ball. And so that's how come I felt pressure in me, and I swung the golf club way far back and I hit the teeny ball very hard. It zoomed right off the carpet. Then it flied in the air and it bounced and bounced, and people shouted the word, ouch! I quick gave the man back his golf club. Then me and Mother and Daddy rushed out of there very fast. Mother looked upset. Why don't we try a game where we can't actually kill someone, she said. Hey, I know where I can't actually kill someone, and its name is the clothespins in a bottle. I runned and run till I found it. Clothespins, please, I said to the lady. She gave me 5 of them. Then she told me all of the instructions. Just hold the clothespins at waist level and drop them one at a time into this milk bottle. She put an empty milk bottle down at my feet. It had a little hole at the top where the milk pours out. Drop 2 clothespins in the bottle and you win a prize. I stared and stared at that little hole. How come that hole is so little, do you think? I don't know, said the lady. Just go ahead and start. I scratched my head. Yeah, only I don't know how even cows can squirt their milk into such a teeny thing, I said. The lady tapped her foot. There are other children waiting, she said. I looked up at her. Have you ever thought about using a bucket? Just go, she growled. So then I felt pressure inside me again, and I hurried to drop my clothespins into the teeny hole, only every single one of them fell right on the floor. My eyes got tears in them. See, I said, I told you that dumb hole was too little. Just then, a clown saw me being sad, and he grinned a giant smile at me. I hid it behind Mother's skirt. Don't let him get near me, I said. Only the clown ran right over, and he peeked his white face clown super close to me. His teeth were big and yellowish. Back off, clown, I shouted. Then Daddy closed his eyes, and Mother said the word, oh my. After that, me and Mother had a little talk. It was called No Screaming Back Off Clown. Only I never even heard of that rule before. My nose got sniffly. Carnival night isn't being fun, I said, very sad. And so that's how come Daddy bought me an ice cream cone and Mother bought me a red balloon. Only too bad for me, because when she handed me the string, my ice cream dropped on the ground and my balloon string slipped right out of my fingers. I bended my head way back and watched my balloon float up to the sky. Then my eyes got more tears in them, and I said the word of poop. Just having a hard time at Carnival night. Goodness. Chapter 6, Bullseye. Carnival night was being the worstest night of my life. That's because I kept on losing at every single game. I lost a penny toss, I lost at the ring toss, and then I also lost at the stupid fishing booth, except all you have to do is hang a fishing pole over the table and somebody puts a toy on your pole. Only I just got a stupid dumb comb on my pole, that's all. A comb? What kind of prize is that? Hey, what kind of stupid prize is this? A dumb stupid comb isn't even a toy, because I can't even play with that stupid dumb thing. She probably shouldn't be saying words like that. Daddy sat me down on a bench. Me and him had another talk. It was called Stop Saying the Word Stupid and Dumb, and also I have to appreciate my comb. Just then I heard a voice holler at me. Junie B. Jones, hey, Junie B. Jones, I've been looking all over this place for you. I turned around. It was my other bestest friend, that Grace. She was holding lots of stuff in her hands. Look, Junie B, look at all my prizes. I won a shiny plastic card, some pretty barrettes, and a delicious red lollipop, and 2 rubber bugs and an eraser that looks like a hot dog. See them? See all my good stuff? Yeah, so, I said. That Grace did a frown at me. How come you said yeah, so? How come you're grouchy at me, Junie B? And why are you just sitting here on this bench? I did a mad breath at her. I'm appreciating my comb, that's why. Don't you know anything, Grace? Just then, Daddy walked me away from that Grace, and he said I better shape up, little missy, or else we're going home right now. Mother told Daddy to calm down his blood pressure. Okay, we have 3 tickets left, Junie B. Let's all take some deep breaths and start all over again. What do you think, Junie B? Do you want to try the sponge throw? That sounds like fun, doesn't it? Then Mother held my hand, and me and her went to find the sponge throw, and Daddy kept on doing deep breaths. The sponge throw was right in the middle of the playground. Principal was there. He was standing behind a board with a big clown suit painted on the front of it. Only instead of a face, there was a round hole cut in the board, and Principal's head was sticking out of it. His face and hair were very drippity. That's because kids kept hitting him with the sponges. It looked like the funnest game I ever saw. I hurried up and got in line, except for then something very terrible happened, and its name was that Jim got in line right behind me. Boo, he said. You did not scare me, Jim, I said. Yes, I did too. No, you did not. Yes, I did too. And anyway, you shouldn't even be in this line because girls can't throw sponges as good as boys. Yes, they can too, I said, because I even practiced this game at my house, and I made a bullseye right into the toilet. So there. That mean Jim laughed real mean and loud. P.U., Junie B. Jones plays in her toilet, he hollered. And so all of the other kids started laughing too. Just then, Sponge Lady tapped on me. She handed me 2 soaky wet sponges. Your turn, sister, she said. Only I just kept standing there because all those meanie kids wouldn't stop laughing. Guess what, I said. I don't even know if I can throw these things now because all that laughing is ruining my self-esteem. Sorry, sis, either throw the sponges or get out of line, the lady told me. So finally I did a big breath. And I aimed my sponge at Principal's baldy head, and I throwed with all of my muscles. Missed him, you missed him, ha, 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 sang that Jim. That's how come my temperature boiled over, and I quick spun around, and I throwed my other sponge right at that meanie boy's face. and it hit him right in the kisser. Bullseye, I shouted, very happy. Then I run out of that place as fast as I could because I was in big trouble, that's why. Even though Jim was being mean, she shouldn't have thrown the sponge in his face. Yikes. Junie B. Jones, yelled Mother. Junie B. Jones, yelled Daddy. I run and run till I saw the giant Moonwalk tent. Then I quick climbed inside of it, and I throwed my shoes out the door because no shoes were allowed in there. The Moonwalk tent is like a big puffy house. You can jump far and wide in that place. I jumped and jumped until sweat came on my head. This is the funnest jumping I ever saw, I said, very springy. Except for just then, the tent lady blew her whistle. Time's up, she said. I peeked out the door. Mother and Daddy were waiting for me. They weren't smiling. I think I'll stay in here, I said. Only just then, Daddy came over and he lifted me right out of the door. I smiled, very pleasant. Hello, how are you today? I said. But Daddy didn't say hello. He just carried me right back to that mean Jim. Then he made me say apology to him and also to his mother. Sorry I throwed a sponge at your meanie boy's face, I said. Daddy rolled his eyes way far back in his head. He carried me back to the Moonwalk tent. Get your shoes, he said. We're going home. Yeah, only I was just starting to have fun. Plus, I didn't even do the cakewalk yet, and that is in my very own room 9. I told you to get your shoes, said Daddy very grumpily. And so I went to the shoe pile, but I could only find one shoe, and not the other one. I tapped on the tent lady. Can you help me find my other shoe? See what they look like? They are shiny and black with a strap that buckles. Their name is Patent Leather. Then me and her and Mother and Daddy looked for my other shoe, but we couldn't find it anywhere. Ugh, I said, now my feet are ruined. I started to cry a teeny bit. Then Daddy smoothed my hair, and he said the word, don't worry. You and Mother go on to the cakewalk. I'll stay here and find your other shoe. And so then Mother holded my hand, and me and her walked to room 9, with just Pat and no leather. Chapter 7, winning! Hope so. Room 9 looked very fun. Music was playing in that place, and children were marching in a circle. They were stepping on big squares of paper with numbers on them. That's the cakewalk, said Mother. You walk around in a circle until the lady stops the music. Then she pulls out a number out of a hat, and if you're standing on the square with the same number, you win a cake. Mother pointed to a table with cakes on it. See all the delicious cakes you have to choose from? I looked at all the delicious cakes. Then my mouth got very watering, and I did a little bit of drool on myself. All of a sudden, the music stopped, and all of the children stopped too. The cake lady reached into a hat, and she pulled out a number. Number 5, she said very loud. Hey, that's me, I'm on 5, shouted a boy with red hair. Then he ran right to the cake table and picked out a chocolate one for his prize. Yum, I said. That looks like the most delicious game I ever saw. I gave the cake lady my ticket. Guess what? This is my last chance to win a prize. Except for I won a comb, and I also got to throw a sponge at a kid that I don't like. Plus, I jumped it all over until sweat came on my head, but then I couldn't find my other shoe named Leather, and so now that's how come I have a sock foot. The lady looked kind of funny at me. Yes, well, good luck to you. Good luck to you too, I said back. Then I skipped very fast to the squares with the numbers on them. Okay, ready Okay, ready anytime you are. But the cake lady kept on waiting and waiting for other kids to come. Took a very long time. That's how come I got ants on my pants. I did huffing and puffing. Then I folded my arms, and I tapped my foot very fast. Hey, I'm not getting any younger over here, I shouted. Finally, the cake lady clapped her hands. Boys and girls, I'm going to start the music now, and I would like you to march in an orderly circle. But remember, as soon as the music stops, you stop too. After that, she turned the music way loud. I did my bestest marching. My feet were very bouncing, and my knees went way high in the air. Then, all of a sudden, just like before, the music stopped, and all of the children stopped too. The cake lady reached into her hat. Number 3, she hollered out. I looked down at my square. Hey, it's me. Look, I'm standing on the number 3. And so I'm the winner, I think. Mother clapped her hands. It is, you are the winner, she yelled. She had relief on her face. Go pick out a cake, any cake you want, she said. I zoomed to the cake table and looked at all of the yummy flavors. There was chocolate and orange and lemon and white and coconutty and cupcakes and donuts and brownies. Also, there was a secret cake wrapped in shiny aluminum foil. What kind is that one? I asked. The cake lady wrinkled her nose. Oh, I don't think you want that one. That one is a fruitcake. I smiled real big. Yay, I hollered. Yay for the delicious fruitcake, because fruit is the bestest thing I love, and so that's the one I pick. Mother shook her head. No, Junie B, it's not the kind of fruit you think it is. You're not gonna like it. I stopped smiling. Yeah, only that is not fair and square of you, because you said I could pick any cake I wanted, and I picked the fruitcake, and now you say I can't have it. Mother rolled her eyes way up at the ceiling. Fine, take the fruitcake, she grouched. She lifted it off the table for me. No, me, I want to carry it. It's very heavy, said Mother. Yeah, that's how come I have muscly muscles in my arm. I bended my arm to show her. See my muscle bump? That's how strong I am. Finally, Mother put the cake in my arms. I dropped it on the floor. Whoa, that is the strongest fruit I ever felt. Now do you want me to carry it? Mother asked. No, because I just got a great idea in my head. Then I put my heavy fruitcake down on the floor, and I dragged it right out of room 9. Chapter 8, the most usefulest cake that I love. I dragged my fruitcake down the hall. Mother walked behind me. Her cheeks were very sucked into her head. Do you want to drag it? Do you want to drag my cake of fruit? Mother said the word. I'll pass. That's how come I dragged my fruitcake to the Moonwalk tent all by myself. And guess what? Daddy was waiting with my other shoe. It had gotten stuck under the big tent, and we didn't even see it there. I put it on my foot. Hooray! Now everything is happily ever after, because I have my shoes named patent leather, and also I have a delicious cake of fruit. Do you see it, Daddy? See the cake I won? Daddy looked at my cake in shiny aluminum. Then he looked at Mother. He shook his head very slow. No, don't tell me. Mother rocked back and forth on her heels. Yupper, she said. Daddy closed his eyes. You mean she picked a fruitcake, said Mother. I jumped way high in the air again. Yay, yay, a fruitcake, a fruitcake. I picked a fruitcake, and now I'd like to see what it looks like. Only I can't even lift this big guy off the ground. Daddy picked it up and set it on the table. I pulled off the aluminum foil. Then I just stared and stared at that thing. It was brownish and slickish, and there was slippery shine on the top. It got rotted, I said very quiet. Mother smiled a little bit. It's not rotten, Junie B. That's just the way fruitcakes look. I looked closer at it. Yeah, only I don't even see any fruits in this gunky thing. Daddy pinched off a little piece for me to look at. He showed me some hard green things and some hard yellow things and some hard red things. He said those were the fruits. I put my tongue on a green one. Ugh, I said. Then I heard a voice. Junie B, look what I won at the Cakewalk. I turned around. It was my bestest friend, Lucille. She was running at me with a box of fluffy white cupcakes. They had beautiful rainbow sprinkles on them. See them, Junie B? See how delicious they look? Yeah, so, I said. Lucille looked on the table where my cake was. What's that? Did you want a cake too? Can I see it, please? I jumped in front of it. Nope, you cannot, I said. Only Lucille stood on her tippy toes, and she peeked right around my shoulder. She made a sick face. Ick, she said. What happened to it? Nothing happened to it, that's what, I said back. I quick put the aluminum foil on it again. Then I climbed up on the table bench and I pumped up my muscles and I lifted my fruitcake way high in the air. This could kill you if I dropped it on your head, Lucille. Lucille ran to her Nana speedy quick. After that, I got down from the bench and I dragged my fruitcake all the way to my car. Daddy unlocked the door for me. Get in and I'll set your fruitcake on your lap. Yeah, only that thing will squish my legs into flatties, I said. And so Daddy put my fruitcake on the seat beside me. I climbed on top of it and buckled my seatbelt. Hey, I can see out the window when I sit on this thing and it doesn't even smush down. Daddy made a rhyme. Fruitcake, the seat you can eat. Yeah, only I never want to taste this yucky Blucky thing again, I told him. Mother smiled. But that's the great thing about fruitcake, Junie B. You never actually have to eat it because it never goes bad. Fruitcake has been known to last for years, said Daddy, and if you ever get tired of it, you just put a bow on it and you give to someone else that you don't like for Christmas. Then him and Mother laughed and laughed, only I didn't even get that joke. Pretty soon, Daddy drove the car into our driveway. I carried my fruitcake into the house, except for just then, it started to slip out of my arms, and so I quick plopped it on my kitchen chair. I climbed on top of it again. Hey, look! Look how big I am. I'm all the way raised up to the table, and this fruitcake doesn't even hurt my behindy. I smiled, very happy. This is the most usefulest cake I ever heard of. After that, Daddy carried my fruitcake into my room for me. He put it on my shelf. Then him and Mother tucked me into bed. I waited for their feet to walk away. Then I took out my flashlight from under my pillow and I shined it on my fruitcake. The aluminum foil sparkled in the dark. It was the most beautiful sight I ever saw. I smiled some more, because I am a lucky duck to win that special thing. And also, I appreciate my comb. There's Junie B sitting on her fruitcake. It doesn't even hurt her behind me. So, Junie B. Have you ever been to a carnival? Have you been to a school carnival before? Have you gotten to throw something at your principal? I bet that's pretty fun. All right, thanks to Barbara Park for writing such a fun book, and hopefully you'll join me next time for the next Junie B. Jones. Take it easy, friends. Thanks for joining.